Hey everyone, welcome back to the next episode. Now you're probably wondering where we are just now. We're actually in Miami at the moment. We've just flown over today from Bermuda and we're heading down to Bonaire tomorrow. Now Bermuda has a brand new airport and I tried to film the intro at the airport, but because we've had hurricane force winds the past few days, it didn't go to plan, as I'll show you in this clip here how horrible the wind was coming through. So I'll run that just now so you can see. Hey guys, as you can tell it's really windy. It's been a crazy few days. We've not been able to get diving out much, so I'm going to run some footage from a dive from a few weeks ago. As you can see, the sound quality was horrible, so I'm redoing an intro just now in the hotel room. That wasn't the plan, but we've had stormy conditions. And you're probably wondering, is it safe to be travelling during a pandemic? You know, we followed the very strict rules that are set in place for us to head down to Bonaire. So of course we're in the US just now. We had to get our negative tests, PCR tests, to prove we didn't have COVID. 72 hours before departure, so I only did that yesterday. And we also wore a face mask, an N95 and a normal face mask on top through the whole plane as well. Now also to go to Bonaire and Curacao, you need to have an antigen test as well. So we're going to go get an antigen test in the morning. Hopefully that comes back negative, and then we can get down to Curacao and Bonaire to catch up with Holly. Now you're probably wondering why we're going down to Bonaire. We're going down because Holly's going to be doing her instructor and I'm going to be staffing her IDC. We've been working really hard to get her ready for the last 2 months now. There's no doubt that she's not going to be able to get it. She's going to smash it. I mean, the course director's already impressed, so we know she's going to get it. But I'd like to give a massive thank you to Alejandro at International Scuba Divers Club as well. Definitely check out his YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below. We were actually going to meet up and do some diving together when I was in Miami, but because I'm going to Bonaire now, I'm not able to catch up with him. But we're definitely going to catch up next time I'm here, and he's recommended some dives to do in Bonaire, to do some videos as well, which I cannot wait. Me and Holly are going to go out, explore, go dive these sites as well, and hopefully have some great content for you guys coming up as well in Bonaire, so you're not just seeing Bermuda anymore, you're seeing somewhere else as well. Because of stormy conditions, diving has not been happening at all the last week. But the winds dropped for a few hours on Tuesday morning, and me and Holly headed to work Long Bay with the DPVs to go for an explore. Went at dawn, just when the sun was coming up, absolutely stunning, the sun coming through the water, and my DPV died, and Holly, being the wee rat that she is, had to come and wind me up and try and ram me with hers. But more importantly, I'm going to run from a dive on the Minnie Breslauer, a wreck in Bermuda, from about a couple of months ago. So you can see we're going to be in shorties, not dry suits, but I always want to give you guys something to watch. It's a cool wreck to see. It's running about 21 meters deep. So let's jump into that and let's go exploring. As we drop down onto the Minnie Breslauer, this wreck is the most unluckiest wreck in Bermuda. It was built in 1872 in Portugal as an English flagged steam freighter. Now the ship actually left Malaga around about 1873 on her maiden voyage to New York with a cargo of wine, dried fruit, bales of cork and around about 160 pounds of lead ingots. Now unfortunately the captain wasn't familiar with the reefs of Bermuda and he edged the ship closer to the reef. And it was a calm day, so southwest breaker was submerged and not breaking over the top. Unfortunately he didn't notice the breaker and hit the breaker and ground to a halt. Then the ship was later pulled off the reef to be towed to make repairs in St George so it could continue its voyage. But unfortunately the damage was so severe that when they were towing the ship back to port, it took on too much water and sunk just off Horseshoe Bay. Now all 24 crew members were rescued without incident, and the ship has become a really popular dive site. As we come round to the stern of the ship, you can see the propeller projecting almost out the sand, and it's really photogenic for a lot of people. If you're a photographer, you will love to spend time taking photos of it with the backlight as well. Now, one of the great things about a dive site is we move away from the wreck, we come across loads of swim-throughs. The swim-throughs are like a labyrinth just around the wreck, loads of nooks and crannies to dip through, arches, passages. So I'm just going to let us continue exploring through this passage just now. As you can see, Holly's coming flying through the passage, and so does Peter come through as well, and we start making our way back towards the Minnie Breslauer. The wreck is absolutely stunning. It sits on top of the reef at around about 16 metres and drops right down onto the sand at around about a maximum depth of 21 metres. Now, right at the top of the reef where the ship's dropping down, we have the two boilers that we're just slowly working our way up to. It's another great spot for photographers or videographers to take some footage or take some shots with their friends and divers. And as we make our way back to the boat, we head towards the mooring, which is attached to the winch of the Minnie Breslauer. Now, normally here there's a lot of life around here. You can get yellowtail snappers, you can get Bermuda chub, you can occasionally get tarpon, and we even had a kingfish here. One of the instructors, Will, actually found a kingfish in the 2019 season, which is really cool, very rare in Bermuda. But one of the great things is the yellowtail snappers are in abundance here. As you can see, Holly's trying to get them to come and eat the bubble rings, but they weren't having it because at the top Heinzie was throwing some bread to them, so they just became disinterested. But as always, it was a wicked dive. I hope you guys enjoyed coming and exploring with us, and we'll just continue exploring the dive together, and we'll see you guys in the next video.